Namaskar. Sun Surya Maharaj gets debilitated for 1 month every year. Now, Sun is our immunity, Sun is our self confidence, Sun is our strength. So that means that 1 month in a year, we may suffer those things. So we may feel weak, we may feel less confident. Now, how that will impact us depends on our rising sign or the moon sign. So, we'll discuss all the 12 signs one by one, but more importantly, also focus on remedies, recommendations, things you can do to channel that energy in a positive, creative manner because Sun will be in Libra, that is ruled by Venus is Shukra, that is creative juices. So, you can focus on things you can do to avoid this lack of confidence or ego issues in a particular area or with specific people in our life by following the remedies or recommendations. Now, one note, people always ask whether they should look at transits from the rising sign Lagna or from moon sign Chandra. You can do both. It depends what you're looking for. If you look at the transits from your rising sign, that shows the external manifestation. That is your physical reality, how things will manifest in your life. But if you want to look at the transits from your moon sign, that shows how you feel things inside, how you perceive. Moon is our emotions. So emotionally, how you feel a transit you want to see from moon sign, physical manifestation you want to see from the Lagna, from the rising sign. So you can look at both. You can see from the rising sign and also you can see from the moon sign to get the complete picture. So let's get started one by one for all of the 12 rising signs. Every year, Sun gets debilitated for one full month in a year, and that happens from October 17th through November 16th. So we're talking about Aries sign, zodiac sign. So that could be your rising sign or your moon sign. You can see this transit from your rising sign if you want to see the external manifestation, how things may manifest externally in your life. But you can also see this from your moon sign. So if you're Aries moon sign, then you can see this video to understand how this transit may impact you emotionally, because moon represents our emotions. And then you can combine both of them. First of all, Sun debilitated. Debilitation means planet doesn't feel very comfortable in that sign. And so that's a sign of Libra. Now, Sun is debilitated in Libra because Sun is the king. King does not like to share the limelight. King wants ekla chalore. King is supreme. Whereas Libra is the sign of sharing and caring and society and other people. So Sun feels lost because Sun wants all the limelight to itself. Sun is the ego. So it has to, when you have to share something, then ego may feel weak. So Sun debilitated in Libra. For Aries rising or Aries moon sign, that is your 7th house. So 7th house Sun, first of all, for Aries people are very headstrong. They are risk takers. They are initiators. They want to go alone. They are trailblazers. And the 7th house is other people, relationships. So when Sun goes in the 7th house, that's like a double whammy. Sun in the 7th house in general for any rising sign is not good because, as we know the story, Sanjana, the wife of Surya, she had to leave Sun because he was so bright, lustrous. So Sun can give issues, problems in marriage or partnership in the 7th house. But for Aries rising, that 7th house happens to be Libra. The sign is Libra. That is ruled by Venus. So the first half of this transit, pretty much until 1st of November, Venus will be in the 6th house. That's why I've shown it here on the cusp. So the first 2 weeks, it'll be in Virgo. It's debilitated, but that means 7th lord goes to the 6th house. So even more problematic for relationships. So for Aries rising, it's a very sensitive period for your relationships. Having Sun in the 7th house, on top of that, the 7th lord Venus going to the 6th house. And Venus in the 6th house, even for other rising signs, it's problematic. Take care of your relationship. Now, how you can channel that in the positive direction, but also the second half of the transit, which is the first 2 weeks of November, Venus will actually go over and join Sun. So then it becomes the combination of two enemies, Shukra and Surya. They are considered enemies. So they're not compatible. Now, how we can make use of this energy? What remedies we can do? What things we can do? First, Sun is our ego or leadership, but Venus is creativity. Venus is art, dance, music. Venus is love. So that means we can channel our leadership in creative pursuits or with our partner. So create something beautiful with your partner. And Sun is also the fifth lord sitting in the seventh house. That's a very powerful combination to give birth to something, to create something powerful with your partner. Or you can get into partnerships with artistic kind of people. During this transit, actually, you may be attracted to that kind of people. So if you're looking to get married this month, this transit, Sun debilitated, that means you may be attracted to people who are artistic and things, which is a good thing. But instead of being the sole leader, this month, Aries rising people, you want to focus on other people's needs. You want to make sure that you're not ignoring people around you, especially your partner, both your personal partner and your business partner. That's the recommendation, but it's a very powerful time to channel all of that energy of the sun to create something beautiful with your partner. And then you superimpose all of the transits happening to get the full picture. If you like the content, I humble request to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment and tell us how this month is going for you. Sun is debilitated in the sign of Libra for one full month. From October 17th through November 16th, we're talking about the sign of Taurus zodiac sign. That could be your rising sign or your moon sign. So you can watch this video both if you have Taurus rising, Lagna, or Taurus moon. And again, this is a reminder, this is based on the sidereal zodiac, not the tropical zodiac. Why? You can see the transit from the Lagna if you want to see the external manifestation. You can see the transit from the moon if you want to see how you perceive things, how you feel emotionally, the impact of this transit on your mind. So you can watch both. So now for Taurus rising or Taurus moon sign, Sun will be in your sixth house. And that's the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. So the first 2 weeks of this transit, that is until 1st of November, Venus, the ruler, will be in your fifth house. That's again debilitated also. But the second half of this transit, that is the first 2 weeks of November, Venus joins the Sun. Sun and Venus are considered enemies. So overall, this transit is not an easy one. Now, there is always a golden opportunity. There's always a silver lining or a positive side to any aspect, any transit, anything in life. So that positive thing is we want to understand what Sun represents. Sun is ego. Sun is our confidence. Sun is our strength. Sun is our leadership. All of that is the Sun. So when Sun gets debilitated, it means you want to be humble, first of all. The biggest lesson is be humble. Now, Sun is in your sixth house for Taurus rising. So that humility you want to show in your job, in your profession. Otherwise, this month, October 17th through November 16th, you may have ego problems at work, in your job, with your boss, or people, your co-workers. So there could be a lot of ego clashes. So you want to be humble, stay humble, and also channel that energy of the Sun in creative work, because it's a sign of Libra, ruled by Venus, very creative energy. And be very creative at work. Also be creative in finding ways to help other people. Do seva, service. Sixth house is the house of service. Third is you may feel a bit weak, like your immunity is weak or you don't have enough strength this month, because Sun represents overall, it represents our health, our immunity, and sixth house is the house of health. So this month you want to do more exercise, take extra care of your health, more time for yourself. So pay attention to your health. And then sixth house is also the house that represents obstacles, challenges, enemies. So Sun is debilitated here. So not a very good time to sit in the competitive exams or dealing with the enemies. So you don't want to deal with the enemies with force this month. You don't want to deal with the enemies or obstacles as a leader. You want to negotiate, you want to show your compassion and even your artistic side. So be very creative when dealing with enemies. So be very diplomatic. This is the month for negotiations. If anything, any issues going on, even legal issues or things happening in your life, you can use your charm. That's the Sun in Libra, but in a very effective manner, as a leader still, but not as somebody who's like begging something or you want some favor. No, you want to be assertive, but At the same time, be like a negotiator, be very aesthetically appealing. Show your Venusian side also. So that's a big recommendation. The other thing is, do not take any loans or debts this month if possible. If you can avoid, it's better to pay off those. And then also, Venus itself, the sun is also your fourth lord. So the fourth lord getting debilitated in the sixth house. So that means there may be ego issues with your family members also, in your kutumba, in your home environment. And also there may be challenges with your real estate investments or your vehicles, things like that. All of a sudden, let's say you have a problem with your car, things like that. So those are possible. But so just make sure you don't have any, first of all, ego issues. Secondly, you're doing exercise and physical work. And in terms of remedies, like I said, take care of ego, but also you can offer water, argya, to Surya, the sun god. You can also chant Gayatri mantra. You can chant Aditya Hridayam. All those things you can do. Plus, specific remedy for Taurus zodiac sign is, in your office, you can hang like a painting of the rising sun, Surya, or just anything that reminds you of the rising sun. That's a great remedy that will lift up your confidence and help you steer away from any ego issues. Sun gets debilitated for one full month in a year. So that is from October 17th through November 16th. So that 1 month, our ego, our strength, our immunity, our self-confidence, those may be challenged. And we may face specific issues in different area of life depending on our rising sign or moon sign. So people always ask, which one should we see? You can see transits. You can analyze transits from both your rising sign and your moon sign. It depends what you're looking for. From the rising sign, it shows external manifestation, how things will show up in your life. But if you see from the moon sign, that shows how you feel. It's about our emotions, emotional experience. And so you can see both and then combine. So if you are Gemini rising, then you can watch this video. If you are moon in Gemini, then also you can watch this section. So for Gemini, sun will be in your fifth house in the sign of Libra. And the ruler of Libra, that is Venus, will be in the 12th house from itself, in the sign of Virgo, debilitated itself. And that means the fifth house gets weak even further. So the fifth house means our romantic relationships. Fifth house is our children. Fifth house is also the seat of creativity. Fifth house is speculative investments, stock market, and all of that. So those areas may be challenged. That means now sun is our ego. So when sun is debilitated, that means we may have ego issues with people in that area of our life. So we may have ego issues with our children, or they may have ego issues in their life. We may have ego issues with our romantic partner. And so all of those relationships, you want to be very careful. Otherwise, there could be separation or very intense, harsh energy of the Surya. Now, how we can channel that in a positive direction? Sun is a very creative planet. Sun, it supports the whole solar system, right? And Venus is the planet of creativity. Venus is Shukracharya. And so Sun in Libra is a combination of Sun and Venus energy. Fifth house anyway is the house of creativity. So create something beautiful. Work on your artistic skills, or art, dance, music, even cooking, anything Venusian. That will be fantastic. Channel your strength, your confidence, your leadership abilities in artistic venues. So create something beautiful with your children, create something beautiful with your romantic partner. And this month in general for students also, you may feel like you're not able to understand things, or things don't make sense, or you're not making progress in your studies. So this month may be challenging for studies, even for college students. This may be a month where you don't want to show leadership that is lacking compassion. So you can, let's say you can go for a leadership position in your school, anything, but also incorporate Venusian qualities. So be very gentle, act as a negotiator, as a peacemaker, rather than just like a ruthless king, because otherwise you may have a lot of ego issues. Be a leader, but be very creative in anything that you do. Fifth house is, as I mentioned, speculative investments. So be very careful this month with your stock market investments or anything risky. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just energy of the planets. So those are the areas, the things you want to be careful. Now, also, Sun is your third lord. So third lord is debilitated in the fifth house. You may have challenges with your younger siblings also. There may be miscommunication, or you may come across very arrogant in your marketing, in your written communication. So be careful when sending out emails, be careful sending out newsletters or any of your marketing videos and things like that. Gemini people, your words may come across as very arrogant, or there may be ego issues. So be very humble. The best thing is to use Venusian things in your communication. So make your newsletters very artistic, visually appealing, make your videos like that. So incorporate the Venusian energy in all forms of your communication. So that's the recommendation. It's a very short 1 month transit, but very powerful because Sun is our soul, our Atma. So you always want to track what Sun is doing in the zodiac, where it is sitting in your natal chart. And then in the transits, you superimpose those charts to get the full picture. Sun will be debilitated for 1 full month from October 17th through November 16th. Sun is our Atma, Sun is our soul, Sun is our immunity, Sun is our self-confidence. So it's very important to see what Sun's doing in the skies. Now for Libra zodiac sign, not Libra, for Cancer zodiac sign, Sun will be transiting through your fourth house in the sign of Libra. Now you can watch these transits both from your rising sign and from your moon sign, but for different purposes. You look at the transit from your rising sign to see the external manifestation, the results in your external life. But you can also see the transit from your moon sign to see how you will experience, how you will feel, emotional experience of the transit from the moon sign. So you can watch both. If you're a Cancer rising, or if your moon is in Cancer, you can watch this video, this section. So Cancer rising, now Sun is, or Cancer moon, the Sun is debilitated, and it's sitting in your fourth house. For Cancer zodiac, Sun is sitting in your fourth house, and Sun is your second lord. So the second lord is debilitated in the fourth house, and Sun represents our ego. Sun is our confidence. So first of all, there may be ego issues with your family members. You may have conflicts. So the one big recommendation is do not discuss politics with your family members this month. Just avoid, because Sun is the king. Sun is politics. Sun is ego. Sun is everything to do with I am the center of attraction and I am my way or highway. That can be the Sun. So when it's debilitated, especially sitting in your fourth house, that is your physical place of residence, that's your home. So at your home, there may be ego issues, and especially related to politics, things could flare up. Secondly, Sun is the second lord. So second house is also Kutumbasthana. Kutumba means our family. And then fourth house is the physical place of residence. So it's very important for you not to have any ego issues with your family members, especially while you're at your home. If you're traveling, then it might be better and energy might be better. But at home, you just want to let it go when it comes to having any contentious discussions, politics, things like that. Secondly, this is a great period to awaken your soul, because fourth house represents our inner happiness. It's the Sukhasthana, what gives us long-term happiness. So wherever Sun goes, it brings light to that area. So this is a 1 month excellent for you to sit and do meditation at your home. Its fourth house is your home. And so that you can figure out, so you can reach your soul. So literally, you can reach your soul through meditation, but also through your family lineage. So ask for blessings from your ancestors, or have discussions about your family, your ancestors, your parents, grandparents. So all of that, but also do that in a Venusian manner, like not as a leader, but as a negotiator. So you can be very pleasing and very cooperative with other people, with your family members, very gentle, like this feminine energy. Then have discussion, and even you could act as peacemaker if there's some conflicts going on in your family. This is a good month where you can act as a peacemaker, you can be a negotiator. The other area that will be impacted is your finances, your wealth. Second house represents your accumulated resources, and Sun being the lord of that, debilitated, means it could put pressure on your family wealth. One good area is you can think of investing in art or artistic talents or artists. But again, this is not financial advice. But be careful with your finances this month. There may be extra expenses also. And the last thing, the third thing, there are many things, but the third most important thing is your speech. Be careful using your words. You may come across as arrogant because second lord Sun is debilitated. It may be unintentional. You may not be intending to be arrogant or have this ego, but that's how this may come across. So be very gentle, very careful when speaking, both with your family, but in general with everybody. So that's the impact of this debilitation of Surya, the Sun, for one full month on the zodiac sign of Cancer. Sun is debilitated for 1 month in a year, and that month is October 16th through November 6th, October 17th through November 16th. Now, Sun debilitated for Leo zodiac sign, that's very important because that's your Lagna Lord or your Moon Lord. Now, people ask, should we see from the Lagna or from Moon? You can see the transits from both. It depends what you're looking for. The Lagna represents your physical existence. It is your external manifestation. So to see how the Lagna will manifest things in your life, you want to see from the rising sign. But to see how the transit may impact you emotionally, how you feel the transit, that you can see from your moon sign. So if your rising sign is Leo, then this video will tell you how you may experience things externally. But if your moon sign is Leo, then this transit will show how you may feel things inside, emotionally, how you will experience this transit. So Sun is your Lagna Lord. That'll be debilitated in the sign of Libra. That's the third house. For Leo zodiac, Leo rising or Leo moon, Sun will be transiting through your third house in the sign of Libra from October 17th through November 16th. So what does that mean? There may be, first of all, there may be ego issues with your younger siblings. There may be huge issues with your communication, written communication, your newsletters, marketing. People may perceive you as arrogant, or on the other side also, they may perceive you as someone who does not have enough confidence or self-confidence. So that's because Sun is weak. Debilitation means the planet is not able to express its qualities fully. So this whole month, first of all, your immunity, your self-confidence are being challenged because we're talking about your Lagna Lord or your Moon Lord also. Do lots of remedies for Surya. Chant the mantras, the Aditya Hridayam. Listen to Aditya Hridayam. Chant Gayatri Mantra. Chant the Surya Bij Mantra. Om Hram Hrim Ram Sah Surya Nama. Meditate on the rising sun. Offer water to Surya in the morning, every morning, while chanting the Surya mantras. Om Surya Nama, Om Divakaraya Nama, Om Bhaskaraya Nama. So for Leo rising, this transit will impact Leo the most out of the 12 zodiac signs. Now also, first house represents your health in general. So that means you may feel weak, you may have some health issues. So you got to do more exercise, take extra care of your health. And then third house is also short distance travels. You may have ego issues with people you meet in your network or socially also. So be very careful, just let go of your ego. And then you may find that you're not able to handle the everyday challenges. If there are any obstacles, challenges in your day-to-day life, you may feel weak. Okay, so for that also, just chant Gayatri Mantra, do the remedies for Surya that will help boost your confidence. The best remedy is you want to do some kind of creative writing. You can do journaling because Sun is in Libra, that's ruled by Venus, is the most creative planet. If you're not a writer, just start journaling, keeping a diary every night, or anytime you have any thoughts, like even positive or negative, just write it down. And then literally, if you're a writer, excellent for showing your creative juices. And then also you can pick up some skills with your hands, learn some musical instruments, or good for writing newsletters and things, but make it very artistic, make it very aesthetically pleasing. So combine the energy of Sun and Venus, then it's a really powerful combination. So make things pleasing aesthetically, but also you can focus a lot more on like creative writing and collaboration with people, with your siblings, with your people you meet every day, short distance travels. So those are some of the remedies you can do for Leo zodiac sign. Sun will be debilitated in the sign of Libra from October 17th through November 16th. For Virgo zodiac sign, that happens to be your second house. Now you can watch this video both if you're a Virgo rising or if your moon is in Virgo, but for different purposes. If you're Virgo rising, then this shows how you will see things manifest externally, because rising sign is your external manifestation, it's your physical reality. But if your moon sign is Virgo, then this transit shows how you will feel things internally, how you'll emotionally, how you will experience this transit from the moon sign. So you can watch both. So second house sun is our immunity, sun is our confidence, sun is our leadership ability, sun is also our strength. So that planet gets debilitated, and that's also your 12th lord. So first of all, a debilitated sun in the second house means make sure your speech is not harsh. Make sure that you do not come across as arrogant. Make sure that you show enough self-confidence. And on the other side, you can actually turn your voice, your speech, very pleasing, like Venusian, make it very like a negotiator, like a peacemaker. So use like soft speech, soft or gentle words, gentle speech. That's very important. Now, to improve your self-confidence and also how you portray, especially in your videos or speech, how you talk to other people, do lots of remedies with Surya. Otherwise, people may perceive you as somebody having very less self-confidence. So you can do Arghya, Surya Arghya, which means offering water to the sun god in the morning. You can chant Gayatri Mantra. You can chant the Aditya Hridayam. And also you can give financial donations for money, because second house represents our wealth. It is our family wealth. So there is difficult transit in the second house, means you just want to give away things related to that house. That becomes a very powerful remedy. And Sun is your 12th lord. 12th lord is subconscious mind. 12th house is subconscious mind and our ancestors. So that literally means you may actually get inspiration from your subconscious mind on what to say, your speech. Be very intuitive. Go within. Maybe do Yoga Nidra or past life regression, any of that, so that you get inspiration and ideas what to say. So your speech will be very powerful this month. If you don't have any ego, then your speech will be coming from a very deep inner space somewhere or from the past lives. Secondly, there may be some hidden issues. Something may surface from your past life or from this life, from the past, that will impact your speech or your family wealth also. And 12th house is one of the moksha sthanas. It's connected with liberation. So discussing or sharing your ideas through your speech about liberation, about other planes of existence, about subconscious mind. So that will be very powerful. And then second house is your Kutumba Sthana also. That means this month you may have challenges, ego issues with your family members. Be very careful with that. So instead of using this energy of the debilitated sun, use the energy of Venus, which is the dispositor of the sun. The ruler of Libra is Venus. So be very Venusian and gentle and pleasing in your speech and in your communication, especially with your family members. So that's what's happening for the zodiac sign of Virgo. Sun gets debilitated for one full month in a year, and that's going to be from October 17th through November 16th. Now, this debilitation is in the sign of Libra. In fact, we have the festival of Diwali that is going to be in the sign of Libra when Sun is in Libra. That's going to be on October 20th and 21st, depending on your location. But debilitation means the planet feels a bit weak in that sign, in that house. So it's not able to express all its power fully. Now, this you can see that this video, this transit, you can see both from the Lagna, rising sign, or from your moon sign. But depends on what you're looking for. So if you look at the transit from the rising sign, then that shows how things will be externally. External manifestation is the Lagna. But you can also see this transit from the moon sign That shows how you will feel and experience the impact of the transit in your mind. So both you can see. Now, it's very interesting period for Libra because this is taking place in your Lagna. Sun will be debilitated in your first house. That means you may feel weak. You may feel physically weak, tired, lack of energy. Secondly, you may feel less self-confidence. You may come across as somebody who's not confident or strong enough. And then also you may question your own personality, who you are, where you belong, what's your purpose. All of those things, doubt, self-doubt could be there. Okay. And then while Sun is debilitated, your Lagna Lord or the Moon Lord, Venus, is sitting in the 12th house and it's also debilitated itself. So Lagna Lord debilitated and a debilitated planet sitting in your Lagna, that is a big deal. That means you really you need a boost. So do lots of chant Gayatri mantra, chant the Bij mantra for Surya or for Venus also. Offer water, Surya in the morning. For Libra, it's very important that you do these remedies. And also you can listen to Aditya Hridayam. And so your Lagna Lord will be in the 12th house the first 2 weeks until the 1st of November. But then Venus transits over to Libra. It actually joins the Sun. Now that usually it's a good thing when Lagna Lord comes to the Lagna, which is Venus. But it's going to join its enemy Surya. Sun and Venus are considered enemies because Sun Surya burns up the Shukra, the semen, that is Venus. So they're not compatible. So that shows that you may not be able to enjoy the Venusian things in life, with art, dance, music, love, romance, all of that is Venus. So even if you are surrounded by people or you have a partner, so you may not be able to enjoy those Venusian things. So this month, it could be challenging in many different ways for Libra rising especially. But if it's Libra moon, then you will feel all of these things internally. You may feel weak in your mind. You're not able to make a decision. Should I do this? Should I do that? Because naturally, Libra rising is a negotiator. Or Libra moon sign, they are a negotiator. They are peacemakers. So they want everybody to live in harmony. So they're not very assertive to begin with. But now a debilitated planet sitting there, especially that planet being the Sun, you may feel that you're not able to take decisions. You're not able to decide what to do. And in general, your health, you got to take care of your health. Do not ignore your health. It's very important because Sun itself represents immunity. Our overall health we see from the Sun also. Take care of your health. Go for long walks or go for hiking. Do some physical exercise. You can do yoga. Especially Sun salutations will be absolutely wonderful for you. So those are some of the remedies. Very interesting times. Now also, Sun is your 11th Lord. So 11th Lord debilitated in your first house. There may be ego issues with your friends, or there may be ego issues online on the social media. You have to be very careful how you deal with people on social media and also with your friends. And then 11th house is our income also. So that Lord is getting debilitated. There may be some impact on your income. And then 11th house represents our desires. You may feel that your desires are not getting fulfilled. No matter how hard you work, you don't get the recognition or things that you desire in life. Those are not manifesting. So a good thing is, on the positive side, you use your creativity. Be very creative. Sun and Venus combination is it's one of the most creative combination because Surya, Sun, is the king of the solar system, and then Venus is the most creative planet. So it's a powerful combination to create something new. Literally, it can be Phoenix rising. You can be reborn. You can create yourself again during this 1 month period. So that's for the zodiac sign of Libra. If you like the content, humble request to like, share, and subscribe this video. Sun is debilitated for 1 full month in a year. That's going to be from October 17th through November 16th. Sun debilitated means Sun is our self-confidence. Sun is our immunity, our health in general. And then Sun represents different things for different rising sign or moon sign. Now for Scorpio, you can watch the video if you're Scorpio rising or if you're Scorpio moon, but depends on what you're looking for. You can watch the transit from the rising sign to see the external manifestation, how things will manifest in your life. But you can watch the transit from the moon sign if you want to see how you will experience the impact of the transit on your mind. So it can be both Scorpio rising or Scorpio moon. Now, for Scorpio, Sun will be debilitated in your 12th house in the sign of Libra. Now, 12th house represents loss of ego anyway, and Sun debilitation itself means loss of ego. So for Scorpio, very important not to have any ego issues. Just let go of your ego. It doesn't mean you don't have to be confident or strong. It just means do things collectively. Do things with cooperation of other people, because Sun, the king, likes to go alone. And Scorpio people are, in general, they are like a closed book. They don't open up very easily. So this month is going to be very challenging for you because you have to share the limelight with other people. You have to get advice from other people. You have to open up, have these discussions. And it's better to have a lot of these social gatherings and things. So that will help you let go of your ego. Otherwise, you will have huge problems, huge challenge. You may end up getting into arguments or now this specific ego issue may also surface more at work, in your profession, in your job, in your business. This may have huge impact because Sun is your 10th lord. So basically the 10th lord is sitting in the 12th house first of all. That means maybe some changes, loss of a job or loss of business or a project is possible. But that could also mean you may have more opportunities abroad. 12th house represents foreign countries also. But more than even not just a physical loss of job, it may be like loss of your name and fame. So there may be a lot of issues related to everything that Sun represents, which is our name and fame. Sun is our confidence. Sun is the authorities. So be very careful dealing with your manager, with the authority figures, all of that. So that's the 10th house. Now, this is a very good period if you want to incorporate Venusian things in your career. That means be very creative at work. If there's a possibility of aesthetic things or artistic things, incorporate those. Even simple things like making your presentations more appealing, choosing the right words, or even dressing up better, more like Venusian manner at work. So those things will really help. And of course, if you do client work, if you go on to meetings and stuff like that, then use your charm, because be a negotiator, be a peacemaker, because Venus is a negotiator. Venus is the peacemaker, the sign of Libra especially. So if you act you're trying to bring people together, you're trying to be very fair, you want to share your wisdom and your skills and your knowledge with other people, then you'll flourish. So that's the best remedy, antidote to this lack of self-confidence or loss of ego or loss of name and fame at work. So if you work on the Venusian aspect, then Sun will feel better and then it'll give you blessings and success. Now, wherever Sun goes, that area of life gets illuminated. So that means Sun in the 12th house. 12th house is your subconscious mind. This is a wonderful opportunity to activate your subconscious mind. So don't focus on debilitation as something bad, oh, loss of ego, that. You can voluntarily let go of ego, but focus on connecting with your ancestors. Focus on activating your subconscious mind. Focus on energy healing, astral travel, hypnotherapy, yoga nidra, past life regression, of course, and lucid dreaming, all those things this 1 month. If you've even never tried any of these things, just watch some YouTube videos, some guided meditations, and do those really powerful awakening of your subconscious mind for Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, especially Scorpio moon, because we're talking about the subconscious mind. So Sun in the 12th house, fantastic opportunity. You can do Tarpan, you can honor the ancestors, you can be very grateful, have this attitude of thankfulness to your ancestors. So all of those things will be very fruitful, very powerful. It may even give you like message in your dreams, in your sleep. So just focus on activating the subconscious mind, and you can go on a retreat, go to an ashram, go to a foreign country, pilgrimage, a temple tour. All those things will give you really positive results. So it's a huge blessing in disguise. You may take some time off not to get involved in any ego issues or fights, but focus on your inner awakening of the subconscious mind. So that's for the sign of Scorpio. If you like the content, it's a humble request, please share and subscribe to the channel. Sun will be debilitated for one full month in the sign of Libra from October 17th through November 16th. Now, this is for Sagittarius. You can be Sagittarius rising or Lagna, or you could be, your moon could be in Sagittarius. Now, it depends. You can watch the transits from Lagna if you want to see the external manifestation, how the transit will be in your life, what will be the impact on your life. Or you can see the transit from the moon sign if you want to see how you may experience results internally at an experiential level, emotional level, how the transit will be impact on your mind that you see from the moon sign. So Sagittarius, Sun will be in the sign of Libra in your 11th house for one full month. Sun is debilitated. Now, Sun is our ego. Sun is our confidence. Sun is our strength. Sun is also our immunity, all of that. Sitting in the 11th house, a debilitated planet in the 11th house. Plus, the ruler of the 11th house, Venus, itself is debilitated for the first 2 weeks until 1st of November. So it's in the 12th house from its own house, its own sign. So that means 11th house gets a lot of this weakness. It's going to be not so strong, so it's not going to give you positive results during this month. So that means, first of all, you got to be very careful on social media. Watch your words. Make sure there's no ego issues with people on social media. Don't get involved in any of these discussions that are that may flare up emotions. It's very easy for people to misunderstand you. But also, the 11th house represents your friend circle. That is your older siblings also. So all these relationships in your life, including social media presence, be very careful not to pick up any fights, any ego issues. Okay. On the other hand, this is an excellent period for you to show your creativity. Use the Venusian skills on social media. Libra is ruled by Venus. And make things artistic. So if you're an artist, this is going to be fantastic. You can really up the game and create such amazing forms of art and show it to people, share with other people. But also, 11th house is friend circle and reaching out to people. So this is an excellent opportunity to be a negotiator, be a peacemaker. So help resolve conflicts among people in your life or on social media also. But don't get sucked up, don't get involved in that emotional exchange. Just keep your ego aside and then use your Venusian skills, your aesthetics, your artistic skills, your feminine nature, all of those skills you use to bring peace and harmony in the world. Now, more practical aspects, which is your income, your finances, that is 11th house. Those may be impacted negatively. So that means you may not see growth in income, or even there could be reduction in the source of income. So for that, you can do remedies for Surya. You can offer water to Surya in the morning while chanting the Surya mantra, Surya Bij mantra, or Surya Nama. You can do sun salutations, very powerful. And then you can also chant Gayatri mantra. You can listen to Aditya Hridayam, plus any other remedies for Surya. You can check out on my website under planetary remedies. Those will help with your self-confidence also as you portray your image on the social media. Now, Sun is also your 9th lord. So 9th lord debilitated in the 11th house. That may really impact your relationship with your father, your relationship with the authority figures, your relationship with the gurus. So be very careful dealing with the gurus, your father, authority figures. And then same thing, the 9th house is also your Dharma. You may feel lost. You may feel lack of direction. You may feel that your chosen path is not strong enough, or you're not strong enough to follow the path. There may be doubt about your spiritual path. There may be doubt about the gurus that you're following. There may be the veil may lift from your perception of the gurus. And if you're yourself a guru or teacher, this is a good month to not just go alone, but as a collaborative project. So do things with other people. And that could be in terms of your spiritual path, that could be in terms of sharing your wisdom, or even being a consultant. So let's say you have a job as a consultant. This month, there may be ego issues. So try to bring people together. Try to create these networks and bring harmony among people. And also use a lot of Venusian things like artistic things in your presentations, in the products you're offering. So all of those will help bring positive energy both for your ninth house and your 11th house. That is your income, your friend circle, and your Dharma. So that's what's going on for the sign of Libra, sign of Sagittarius. If you feel this information is useful, please share and subscribe. Sun will be debilitated in the sign of Libra for one full month, from October 17th through November 16th. So it happens only 1 month in a whole year. It's a very big deal because Sun is our Atma, our soul, our confidence, our immunity, our leadership skills. All of those get impacted. Now also that may impact a specific area of your life depending on your rising sign or your moon sign. Now people ask, should I see the transits from rising sign Lagna or the Chandra Kundali, that is the moon sign? You can see from both. It just depends what's the purpose. You watch the transits from your rising sign if you want to see the external manifestation, the results in your external life. You want to see the transit from the moon sign if you want to see how you may experience those results, how the transit will impact your mind, that you see from the moon sign, but the external manifestation, actual results in your life externally, that you see from the Lagna. So for Capricorn rising or Capricorn moon sign, Sun will be transiting through your 10th house. That is the sign of Libra, and Sun is your 8th lord. So first of all, that may impact your career. You may feel lack of confidence in your job, in your profession. You may feel lack of direction also. Am I on the right path? Is this really the right career for me? What's my purpose? Who am I? All those existential questions may surface. And then also you may have ego issues or fights with your superiors, with your boss, with your manager. So biggest recommendation for Capricorn rising is do not pick up any issues or fights with your superiors at work or with any authority figures or with any government officials. If there is any permitting issues going on, be very humble, very gentle. Do not push the envelope. But on the other hand, Sun in Libra is the energy of Venus. Venus is the most creative planet. So use creativity at work in your profession. Use artistic skills, be more aesthetic. Maybe create your presentations more professionally, but also you can act as a negotiator, as a peacemaker at work. That's the biggest strength of Libra. That's the biggest strength of Venus, is to bring people together so that everybody can live in harmony. And secondly, yes, so one is you can bring people together, help resolve conflicts and issues at work. Second is share freely. Sharing is one of the key aspects of Libra. See, the Sun likes to go alone. Sun is the king, doesn't like to share the limelight with anybody. But being in Libra, that's why it's debilitated. It has to share. It has to have other people come together. So share your skills. So be a mentor. Help your colleagues, junior people, or even your superiors, your boss, everybody. So at work, be very helpful, be very courteous, be very Venusian, be very aesthetically pleasing, and that'll help you turn this seemingly negative transit into a strength. Okay, so then Sun is also your 8th lord. 8th house is change and transformation. So anytime 8th lord's transiting through the 10th house means literally there could be a change in your profession. Change in your job is a possibility. Or there could be just like transformation within where you pick up something different. Or at work in your current job, things may change completely. You may get a new project or something. Then 8th house is also esoteric wisdom, hidden wisdom that is not visible on the surface easily. So that means if it's possible, you may bring more spiritual aspects to your work. Literally, you can start working on the spiritual field, or you can bring more spirituality at work. That means maybe being more mindful at work, doing meditation literally at work, any chance you get. So that's how you want to combine everything related to the 8th house and the 10th house. Now also there is one caution, there could be some hidden things going on at work. So that you have to be careful about. And so for that you can activate the sun. You can energize the sun in your life. You can chant Gayatri Mantra. You can chant the Surya Beach Mantra. Om Ram Hrim Ram Sah Surya Nama. You can offer water to the sun god in the morning and chant the mantra, the Surya Argya. And also you can listen to Aditya Hridayam. Especially Aditya Hridayam will be powerful for Capricorn zodiac sign because 10th house will give you this self-confidence and power to as a victory in your professions. That's what happened to Lord Sri Ram. He was tired fighting the battle with Ravana. So before the final battle, he got this Aditya Hridayam from Agastya Rishi. So it's very powerful, so very pertinent for Capricorn zodiac because you want to rise and shine at work. Otherwise, you may be perceived as somebody who's less confident and not as strong. So to counter that, you want to do lots of remedies for Surya and Venus also. Use artistic skills. You can give donation for artists. You can give donation for any of the artwork. So those are some of the remedies for Capricorn. If you like the content, if you find it useful, please share and subscribe. Surya Maharaj, sun god, will be debilitated in the sign of Libra for one full month, October 17th through November 16th. This is for the sign of Aquarius. That can be your rising sign or that could be your moon sign. You want to look at the transit from the rising sign if you want to see the external manifestation, how the transit may impact your life externally. And you want to see the transit from your moon sign to see how that particular transit will impact you emotionally, the impact on your mind. So you can see both ways. So Aquarius rising, Surya Maharaj, sun will be debilitated in the sign of Libra in your 9th house. And also the ruler of 9th house, Venus, is going to be in the 8th house, that is 12 houses away from itself. In the sign of Virgo, that will be debilitated also. There is fair amount of weakness when it comes to the 9th house. And that's for the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks of this transit until November 1st, Venus will be debilitated in the 12th house from itself. The last 2 weeks, which is the first half of November, then Venus joins Sun in the 9th house. In fact, Sun and Venus are considered enemies. The biggest impact that Aquarius zodiac sign will see is on your 9th house and the 7th also we'll discuss, because Sun is the ruler of the 7th house. So 7th Lord is sitting in the 9th house and it's debilitated and is being joined by its enemy Shukracharya, Venus. So this will challenge your Dharma. You may question your spiritual path. You may question the gurus in your life. You may question whether you're on the right path. You may question your Sangha. Am I with the right people? And you may have self-doubt. Am I good enough for my path? Am I good enough for my guru? Am I good enough to be a guru if you're on that path, if you're teaching or if you're a guru yourself? So you may have self-doubt. So those are some of the things that may surface. So best thing is, one big remedy for Aquarius rising is to visit a temple or any religious place and go and sit there for a few minutes. You don't have to do any rituals. You don't have to talk to anybody. Just being there in that environment will lift up your 9th house, because religious places we see from the 9th house. Secondly, you can do lots of sun salutation. You can offer water to the sun god in the morning, chant the Surya mantra, Bij mantra, Om Ram Hrim Ram Sah Surya Nama, or Om Surya Nama, Om Bhaskara Nama, Om Divakara Nama. Honor and respect your father, honor and respect your gurus, but you may actually see that you may get clarity about your gurus after this transit. You may see the real picture. Okay. Now, sun debilitated can cause ego issues. So do not get involved in any fights or any ego issues with your gurus, with your father, with the authority figures. That will be very difficult. Secondly, same thing with your partner, with your spouse, with your business partner. The 7th Lord represents all of that. That is Sun, and the 7th Lord for you is debilitated in the 9th house. So make sure there are no ego issues with your partner. Secondly, on the positive side, this is a very creative period because Sun is a creative planet. Sun in the natural Kalpurush Kundali rules the 5th house of creativity, Leo. And Sun is the king of the solar system. And it's in Libra, which is ruled by Venus. Venus is the most creative planet, Shukracharya. And so use your Venusian energy, creative energy, create something powerful with your partner. Start teaching something to other people with your partner. Together with your partner, start sharing your wisdom. Or go to the temple or church or do some spiritual things together with your partner. Create something beautiful, artistic with your partner. So incorporate all. So one simple thing is cooking. Cook your meals together with your partner and make it very elaborate, like gourmet meals. You'll be honoring the Venusian energy. Honor the Venus in your life. All the women, your mother, your sister, your wife, your daughter, honor the women. The more you do, the more this will give you this power. Then you'll have clarity on your dharma, on your ninth house, on your spiritual path. And that will also lift up your seventh house, your relationship, your partnership. So if you're looking for a partner, if you're looking to get married, then this month may introduce you to people who are visually, like aesthetically very appealing, like beautiful looking people. You may attract towards those people. But there's this deep spiritual element to it. So if you meet people, make sure you have a spiritual connection with them. Otherwise, you may feel disappointed. So all of those things, so to lift up your self-confidence, to lift up your immunity, your health, your strength, you got to do remedies for Surya and for Venus. So that's what's happening for the sign of Aquarius. If you like the content, if you find it useful, humble request, please share and subscribe. Thanks. Sun, the Surya Maharaj, will be debilitated for one full month in the sign of Libra from October 17th through November 16th. This is a big deal because Sun is our Atma. Sun is the soul. Sun is our immunity, our strength, our confidence, our father. Sun is our health overall in general. So wherever Sun is going, whatever Sun is doing in the skies, the transiting Sun, it's very important to see that area. So now this month, and this happens only for 1 month in a year when Sun is debilitated. So we'll discuss what's the impact for Pisces, zodiac sign of Pisces. Now you can see this, watch this video if you're a Pisces rising or if your moon is in Pisces, both, but for different reasons. You watch the transit from the rising sign to see the external manifestation of or the impact of that transit, and you see the transit from the moon sign to see how that transit will impact your mind, how you will emotionally experience that transit that you want to see from the moon sign. So now for Pisces zodiac, either rising or moon, Sun is transiting through your 8th house. Very powerful transit. And Sun happens to be your 6th lord. So first of all, this is giving you a Viparita Raja Yoga. A connection between the 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house gives you a Viparita Raja Yoga. So it's a very powerful combination that will lift up both the 6th house and the 8th house. Secondly, wherever Sun goes, that area of life gets illuminated because Sun is the light of the solar system. Sun is the light is the source of light for all the other planets. And so Sun will be in the 8th house. That means you will have more clarity on the deeper esoteric wisdom. 8th house represents the hidden wisdom, like even tantric wisdom, things that are not easy to learn or acquire. But when Sun goes there, it will give you deep clarity. So this month, the biggest recommendation is for Pisces is to go very deep in their spiritual quest. Go further, go beyond the surface kind of knowledge, and you'll have help from the gurus. Secondly, 8th house is change and transformation. You may experience immense change in your life. Something profound will shift. 8th house is also your inheritance, money from other people. So chances are you may get inheritance literally. And then 8th house, now this is sign of Libra. It's ruled by Venus. So it's a combination of Sun and Venus. Now Venus in the 8th house, I always say that's a combination for Sanjeevani Vidya. Watch my other videos, I have explained. So this is giving you immense healing power. Now one thing is because Sun is our ego also, so 8th house is change, transformation, this. So there may be this churning of your ego. If you have any ego issues with somebody, you may be crushed. You may feel disappointed. You may feel this a lot of loss of self-confidence. So the remedy for that is, first of all, try to let go of your ego as much as possible voluntarily. Secondly, do not get involved in ego issues when learning the spiritual stuff. So be very humble. Okay, but Sun Venus is a creative combination. So give birth to something very creative, artistic, like maybe drawing those mandala coloring books, Shakti coloring books. That is an excellent remedy. Or even deep meditation on some art form of the goddess or some painting. And then 8th house is also excretion. So giving away, like donation of artistic things, is very important. And then the general remedies for Surya, of course, you can do. The sun is weak, debilitated in Libra, so you can do sun salutations. You can offer water to the sun's Surya Arghya in the morning. You can chant Surya Beach mantra, the other mantras for Surya. You can chant Gayatri mantra, and you can listen to the Aditya Hridayam. But the 8th house remedy specific is, first of all, focus on spiritual development. Secondly, in fact, share your spiritual wisdom with other people. So that becomes a remedy. You share, you give away what you're seeking. Okay. Now, Sun is also your 6th lord. So there may be health pressure on your health. You may feel weak, tiredness in general, and lack of self-confidence. So all of those things you want to do remedies for Surya, the sun that we discussed. Also, there could be challenges, hidden enemies. All of a sudden, something comes to surface that you didn't anticipate, like some enemy, some challenge, some obstacle, some roadblock. So for that also, you want to do lots of remedies for Sun and for Venus also. And then 6th house represents loans and debts. So make sure this month you do not take any new loans or debts if possible. And this is a very good period to pay off any loans or debts that you may already have. And then the Lord of 8th house, Venus itself, is weak. It's in the 12th from itself for the first 2 weeks until November 1st, and then it joins the Sun. But Sun and Venus are considered enemies also. But they're good to give you this Sanjeevani Vidya, this esoteric wisdom. So go very deep. This is a very spiritual transit for you, for the zodiac sign of Pisces. If you like the content, if you find it useful, please share and subscribe.